Okay, this is going to be a short video going over planchet damage starting in 1982. You can see on this penny the S is missing. Most often it is the state and of that are missing in the planchet damage from 1982. What occurred is they changed from copper pennies, where you can see this one right here. This one right here was a 1982 copper penny that got stuck in the actual molding manufacturing because of the amount of pressure damage the new pennies were under. So this one actually got printed upward facing and rounded, and you can see the back end caves inward and everything is basically damaged. Then starting later on in the 1982, they went on with the zinc, and the zincs kept having damage on the back, usually occurring at the state or the of. In them you can find different versions of this and different pressings. There are small dates, big dates, fat dates, overpressed dates, dates that are bent slightly. So what I would do is, this also occurred in 1983. So what I would do is go through your 1983s and look for your copper and look for your zinc pennies. 1983 zinc are going to be, actually, if you think about it, they're going to be worth more because they have planchet damage that is occurring, meaning you could find them in mint condition with actual damage of the in god and the reverse of state and of on them. The coppers are more valuable just because they're copper, but none of the coppers so far that I found in 1983 have planchet damage. Only planchet damage in the 1982 have I found planchet damage, and this is out of collecting for over 30 years. So, like I said, this when they transition between money, this is where you can actually make money as a collector, knowing that the copper is worth more money in 1982, but the more mistakes you have with the 1982 planchets that were made of different metallurgy or metals had make the striking a little bit harder, and they had to actually remount the pressure of the machines that printed the pennies because they weren't actually printing full pennies. They were looking more like this, just struck with the symbols on both ends. This was out of a whole batch that was supposed to have been discarded or thrown away, but I got this from a collector from the mint who worked at the mint. This was actually how the 1982s started looking whenever they were hit by copper planchets. They totally ruined them. They had to pull them out by hand to get them out of there. They stuck in the machine entirely. So you can see that the 1982 coppers, when they first started with the new planchet and with the new pressure design, that it totally smashed the copper pennies at the very end of the cycle when they ran out of copper pennies and went to planchet of zinc and copper coated. So this one is, like I said, 95% copper and the rest other metals, but it's basically a sense of saying brass. But there are fewer of these. In fact, out of 10,000 that I've gone through myself of collecting, I've only found this one that I've gotten directly from the mint, or a mint worker who had collected this penny, and I had bought it out of his collection.